Oh my goodness. Can you believe that? So much good stuff. Okay, so we're going to back up and kind of work our way through all of these chapters because holy moly. Okay, so let's go back to chapter 18. Right after they found the graffiti on the wall outside the house. And Jeffrey really felt like he needed to leave then. He feels like he's putting too much pressure, too many problems on the Beale family, and he doesn't um, want to cause any more trouble. He's so grateful for everything that they've done. But anyway, so he and Amanda are going back and forth with this whole, she's giving him every reason in the world she can think of that he should have to stay. And he always has an answer for it, like, where are you going to stay? Where are you going to live? And he's like, oh, the zoo worked before. I'll stay in Prairie Dog Town or whatever. I can use McDonald's for the bathroom or whatever. And he was just making her so darn mad because she wanted him to stay, which is so sweet. Um, and then she throws out there, well, you'll never get a chance to read my encyclopedia. You can't read books if you're not staying here with me. He's like, let's go to the library. And then she does something that we've all done from time to time. She says something, and the minute she says it, she wishes she could grab hold of those words and yank them right back because she knows she crossed that line by reminding him that he doesn't have an address. That was just too much, too far, and she feels really, really bad about it. We've all been there. Anyway, so he wasn't back for a long, long time, and finally he shows up, which she's relieved for. Anyway, um, she comes up with an idea. She thinks it's brilliant. She mentions this thing called Cobble's Knot and said, this is how you're going to fit to our neighborhood. Remember, it's all about the fact that he's a white kid living with a black family in the 1950s. This just wasn't done. Um, So she tells him about Cobble's knot. And in chapter 19, that's really just kind of this, it's the story of this giant knot, this volleyball sized knot of string that was set up as a contest. And if you could untie it, then you were going to get, it started out with like time alone in the candy counter, but over time it evolved into a year's worth of free pizza. So she thinks if he unties this giant knot, it's going to make everyone in town like him. Remember all those times we talked about foreshadowing, and I said, remember, keep in mind all of this about him untying little kids' sneaker knots? This is why she thinks he'll be able to accomplish this task. And if they hadn't mentioned all of him having this ability to untie knots all the way through the book, this wouldn't make any sense. So he decides he's going to give it a try. He's going to try to untie this knot. And the day of the event, it becomes like this big thing. They bring out a card table and they like have him stand on it and he's working at this knot. He picks at it, he scratches at it, he really studies it for a long time before he wants to tackle it. Before he can untie it, though, he feels like he needs to take a quick nap, which is weird. But he feels like he needs to clear his mind, focus, get his zen on, so to speak. So he takes this nap so that he can clear his mind and be ready to focus on untying the knot. So, over a long period of time, all these people are gathered around watching, and it really does take all day. He starts out there first thing in the morning. He works through lunch, and finally, around dinner time, the knot has been tackled, and everyone loses their minds. Now, there's a part in here that's really important. It said, Maniac knew what the rest of them didn't. The hardest part was yet to come. He had to find the right routes to untangle the mess, or it would just close up again like a rock and probably stay that way forever. That's just not referring to the knot. The knot is a piece of symbolism. It represents something bigger. What in this town is a tangled up knot that if they don't fix it, it's never going to be fixed. Racism, right? This whole black-white issue. And so Jeffrey untying this knot right at the boundary of the two halves of town is really symbolic and really important. The fact that he did this is huge. Um, so everyone loses their minds in chapter 21, and he, is celebrated. There's confetti. They shredded Amanda's book, didn't they? Oh my gosh. And we don't know who did it. We have suspicions. Everyone always seems to think it's Mars Bar, but who knows? Anyway, so he, he said anyone could have looked through the window and tore it up. It said more than anything, this is so big. More than anything, Maniac wanted to hug Amanda and tell her it was okay. He wanted to go inside, be with his family, in his house, in his room, behind his window. But that wasn't the right thing. The right thing was to make sure the Beals didn't get hurt anymore. He couldn't keep letting them pay such a price for him. He's making a decision that involves them. Shouldn't they be involved in this decision? Shouldn't they have a say in it? But being a dumb kid, he decides he's going to leave. And as he leaves, this is pretty interesting. He leaves town walking down the center of Hector Street, this street that divides the town in half. And he's walking literally on the yellow line down the center of the street. And on this side of the street, he has John McNabb and the Cobras yelling and screaming at him and saying nasty things. And over here on this side, he has Mars Bar and his friends all jawing and trash talking and saying nasty things. And he's walking right down the middle. He's not running, he's walking. He really is stuck between two worlds. He doesn't fit in on the white side of town. He doesn't fit in on the black side of town. He really wants to find his place where he belongs, and he just can't seem to find it. So he leaves town the only way he knows how, which takes us to part 2 of the book. And that's where we're going to start next time. So, where's he going to go? What's he going to do? Is he just going to be homeless again? Is he going to stay in town? Is he going to leave town forever? Where's he going? So, interesting stuff. I want you to kind of think about that. Maybe put some comments in the class discussion section so that we can have a talk about. I want to hear what you're thinking at this point in the story. Oh, so good. All right. Tune in next time and we'll see where he goes and what he does. Stay safe and healthy. Be kind to one another. Bye.